You won't believe what happens when a loving mother's worst nightmare becomes her reality, and her journey to justice takes a dark turn. In this story, a young girl vanishes after a seemingly harmless neighbor moves in next door. The police catch the predator, but justice feels incomplete, leaving the mother, Sarah, consumed by grief and anger. What she does next will shock you, because sometimes revenge blurs the line between right and wrong. But here's the twist you won't see coming. Her desire for justice leads her down a path that questions everything about morality, love, and what it truly means to protect your family. Will she find peace or regret? Stay tuned, because the real story is only beginning, and the ending will leave you questioning whether justice can ever truly be served. Before we dive in, drop a comment and tell me, where are you watching from? And if you believe that sometimes fighting fire with fire is the only way, hit that like button now. You don't want to miss what happens next. I wake up early in the morning. The sun shines softly through the window. I hear birds singing outside. It feels like a quiet, happy day. My daughter Emily is already awake. She runs into the room, smiling. She is small, with blonde hair and bright eyes. She wears her favorite pink dress. She likes to play outside. I smile at her. "Good morning, Emily," I say. She laughs and hugs me tight. "Can I go play outside?" she asks. "Yes, but stay close to the house," I say. I hug her back and watch her run outside. She runs to the yard and picks up her favorite doll. Tom, my husband, is making coffee in the kitchen. He looks tired but happy. "Good morning," he says. I wave to him. "Good morning." Today feels like any other day. Our neighborhood is peaceful. We live in a small, friendly town. Kids play in the streets. Neighbors chat and smile. I watch Emily from the door. She runs around the yard. She laughs as she throws her doll in the air. Tom stands nearby, watching her too. Suddenly, I notice something strange. A man just moved into the house next door. His name is Carl. He is tall and serious. He has dark eyes and looks around carefully. I feel a small worry in my stomach. I try to ignore it. I tell myself, he is new here. Maybe he's just shy. But I remember what I heard about him. A few neighbors whispered that Carl had a hard past. I don't know details, but I feel a faint shadow in my mind. I take a deep breath. I want to keep my family safe. I tell myself, stay calm, everything is okay. I go back inside and start breakfast. Emily eats her cereal quickly. Tom and I talk quietly about our day. As the day goes on, I keep looking outside. I see Carl watching Emily sometimes. He stands by his yard, but I notice him looking at her more than once. My heart beats a little faster. I tell myself, it's probably nothing. Maybe he's just curious. But inside, I feel uneasy. I love Emily so much. I want to protect her from any danger. That night, I sit by the window and watch the stars. I think about my family and our peaceful life. I hope nothing will change. I turn off the light and go to bed. Tomorrow is a new day, but I keep a small worry in my mind. I hope our neighborhood stays safe. I hope Emily keeps playing outside and laughing. I want everything to stay just the way it is. For now, everything seems good. But deep inside, I know that sometimes, even in the safest places, trouble can come without warning. And that is where my story begins. I wake up early that morning. The sunlight comes softly through the window. I hear birds singing outside. Everything feels quiet and peaceful. I take a deep breath and sit up in bed. Today is a new day, but I can't shake the feeling that something is not right. I look over at Tom sleeping next to me. His face is peaceful. He looks tired but calm. I want to talk to him, but I am not sure what to say. My mind keeps going back to Carl, our new neighbor. Yesterday, I saw Carl outside. He was standing near his house, watching everything. He looked serious, like he was thinking hard. I didn't say anything. I just watched him from the window. My stomach felt strange. I wanted to run outside and ask him what he was doing, but I didn't. I go downstairs quietly. Emily is not awake yet. I peek into her room. Her bed is empty. I call her softly. No answer. My heart beats faster. I remember she was playing outside yesterday afternoon. I wonder where she is now. I walk outside to look around. The neighborhood is still quiet. I see Emily's bicycle lying on the sidewalk. The basket is empty. I call her name. I walk toward the bushes by the fence. Suddenly, I see something in the bushes. It is a small torn piece of cloth. It looks like a little skirt. I kneel down and pick it up carefully. It is very dirty and ripped, but it is definitely something Emily would wear. My heart pounds harder. I stand up quickly. I look around. No sign of Emily. I feel worried. Why would she leave her skirt here? Did someone take her? Did she get hurt? I run back inside and pick up the phone. I call Tom. Tom, I say breathlessly, I found a torn skirt in the bushes. Emily's skirt. I think she was here, but she's not in the neighborhood now. I'm very scared. Tom wakes up and listens. We have to find her, he says quickly. Let's call the police. I nod and press the number. While we wait, I look out the window again. I feel cold inside. I want Emily to be safe. I want her back. Soon, the police arrive. They ask us questions. I show them the torn skirt. They look around the neighborhood and talk to neighbors. Everyone seems worried now. Some neighbors whisper about Carl. One of the officers asks me, "Did you see anyone suspicious near the bushes?" I think for a moment. "Yes," I say slowly. "I saw Carl watching from his yard. He looked strange. He was not playing outside like usual." The officer nods. "We'll talk to him," he says. "We need to find Emily. We will do everything we can." I feel a little comforted, but I also feel very scared. I keep looking at the bushes. My mind goes back to Carl. I wonder if he took Emily. I want her to come home safe. Later that day, the police arrest Carl. They find him in his house. He looks surprised but not scared. He is quiet when they ask questions. They take him away to the station. I sit with Tom and cry a little. We both feel sad and helpless. We want Emily to come back. We want her safe. Our peaceful life has suddenly become full of fear. That night, I can't sleep. I keep thinking about Emily and Carl. I wonder what will happen next. I know we must stay strong. We have to believe that Emily is still out there somewhere, waiting to come home. As I sit in bed, I look at the torn skirt again. It is a small sign of what has happened, a tiny piece of her innocence. I hold it carefully. I promise myself, I will find her. I promise I will do everything I can to bring her back. Tomorrow is a new day. We will keep searching. We will keep hoping. But tonight, I just hold the torn skirt and pray for Emily's safe return. I woke up early that morning. The sky was gray and cold. My hands felt tired from searching all night. I looked around the house. Everything looked the same, but inside me, I felt a big worry. Emily was still missing. Tom sat at the kitchen table. He looked tired too. His face was sad. "We have to find her," he said softly. "We can't give up." I nodded. My heart was heavy. I looked out the window. The neighborhood was quiet. It seemed peaceful, but I knew better. I knew something wasn't right. That day, I decided to go outside. I wanted to see if I could find any clues. I walked slowly down the street. The air was cold and still. As I passed the bushes near the park, I saw something strange. It was a torn piece of cloth. I stopped. I took a closer look. It was Emily's skirt. I couldn't believe it. My stomach twisted. This meant Emily had been here. Maybe she was nearby. I called Tom right away. "Come quick, I found her skirt," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. Tom ran over. His eyes opened wide. "That's Emily's skirt," he said quietly. "She was so close." We looked around the bushes. It was quiet. Too quiet. I wondered if Emily was hiding behind the trees, or if she had gone further away. Soon, the police arrived. They took pictures of the torn skirt and started asking questions. I told them what I saw. I showed them the bushes and the spot where I found the cloth. The police looked serious. One officer said, "This is a very bad sign. Someone took Emily. We are doing everything we can." They promised to find her. That day, our neighborhood was full of police cars, flashing lights, and people talking softly. Everyone was worried. Everyone hoped Emily was safe. But deep inside, I felt a big fear. Someone had taken her, and I didn't know why or where she was now. Later, the police caught a man named Carl. They said he had done something very bad. He was a dangerous man with a dark past. They took him away in handcuffs. When I heard the news, I felt a small hope. Maybe now, Emily would be safe. Maybe she would come home soon. But I also felt angry. Why did someone do this? Why would they hurt my little girl? That night, I sat on my bed. My mind was full of questions. I looked at Emily's picture on the wall. She was smiling, happy. Now she was gone. I wanted her back more than anything. I looked out the window again. The stars were quiet in the sky. I thought about Emily. I thought about how much I loved her and how much I missed her. Even though the police had caught Carl, I knew this was only the beginning. I had a feeling that things weren't over. I knew I had to stay strong. I had to keep searching for Emily because I loved her, because I wasn't going to give up. And I promised myself I would do everything I could to find her and bring her home, no matter what. I sat in the small room of the police station. My hands trembled and my heart felt heavy. Emily was gone and everything around me seemed dark and silent. I looked at the officer sitting across from me. His name tag said, "Officer Miller." "We have caught the man responsible," he said softly. "His name is Carl. He's in custody now." I nodded slowly. I wanted to believe that justice was happening. I wanted to feel safe, but inside, I was not sure. I looked out the window and saw the police car parked outside. Carl was inside that car. He was a dangerous man. The police said he was guilty of hurting Emily. That day, everything changed. The court date was set for next week. We went home feeling tired and worried. I kept thinking about Emily. I missed her so much. I wish she was with us, safe at home. At home, Tom was sitting in his chair. His face looked sad but tired. He was quiet. I sat next to him and took his hand. "Do you think he will be punished enough?" I asked softly. Tom looked at me. "I hope so," he said. "But I also worry. Will the court be fair? Will they give him a strong punishment?" I looked down. I didn't have the answer. I only knew that I wanted Emily back. I wanted to hold her and tell her everything would be okay. That night, I could not sleep. My mind kept going back to the torn skirt I found. It was in the bushes near our house. Emily's skirt. It meant she was so close. She was near, but I still did not know where she was now. The next day, I went to see the police. I wanted to give them all the details I remembered. I told Officer Miller about the torn skirt, about the strange way Carl watched Emily, and about what I saw the day she disappeared. He listened carefully. "Thank you," he said. "Every detail helps. We are doing our best to find Emily. We want her to come home." I looked at the ground. I wanted to believe him, but I also felt a bitter feeling inside. Carl was in jail now, but that did not mean Emily was safe. She could still be out there, scared and alone. Days passed slowly. We waited for the court trial. I kept thinking about what would happen next. Would Carl be punished enough? Would Emily come back? Or would we never see her again? Finally, the day of the trial arrived. We dressed in our best clothes. I felt nervous and scared. The courtroom was big and cold. People sat all around. The judge, a serious man with glasses, sat at a desk. Carl was there too. He looked calm, but I could see the sneer on his face. He knew he was guilty. I wanted to shout at him, to tell him what he had done, but I stayed silent. The judge listened to the lawyers. They showed the evidence, the torn skirt, witness statements, and photos. It was clear Carl was guilty. When the judge spoke, he said, "Carl, you are guilty of hurting a child. The court sentences you to many years in prison." I felt a small hope. Maybe now Emily was safe. Maybe Carl would not hurt anyone again. But inside, I felt a strange mix of relief and sadness. Justice was supposed to be fair, but I still missed Emily. I wanted her home with us. I wanted her safe in my arms again. After the court, I saw Sarah. She looked tired but strong. Her eyes were red from crying. She hugged me tight. "We did everything we could," she whispered. "Now, we just have to wait and pray." I nodded. I knew it was not over. The pain of losing Emily was still inside us. But for now, Carl was in jail. Justice had caught him. That night, I looked at Emily's picture on the wall. Her bright smile made me feel a little better. I whispered, "We will find you, Emily. We will bring you back home." And in my heart, I kept hope alive. I knew that no matter what, I would never stop loving her. I would never stop looking for her. Because she was my little girl, and I loved her very much. I sat in the courtroom. My hands were clenched tight. My heart beat fast. I watched as the big judge sat high above us. He looked serious. The room was quiet, except for the soft murmur of people talking quietly. I felt tired and sad. This was the day Carl, the man who hurt Emily, was to be sentenced. I knew he was guilty. The police had found enough proof to say he did it. Still, my stomach felt strange. I wanted to believe justice would make everything okay, but I knew deep inside, things could never be the same. Tom sat next to me. He looked tired too. His face was sad, but he tried to stay strong. He gave my hand a small squeeze. I looked at him and nodded. We both wanted this to end, but we also felt worried. The lawyer spoke. She told the judge everything about Carl's crimes. She said Carl was dangerous and needed to be punished. Carl sat quietly. His face was cold. He didn't look sorry. I hated him for what he did to Emily. Then the judge spoke. "Carl, you are guilty," he said. "You will go to prison for a long time." I let out a small breath. It felt like a little hope. Maybe now Emily would be safe. But as we started to leave, I felt a strange feeling inside me. It was not happiness. It was a mix of anger and sadness. I looked at Carl one last time. I thought about Emily. I thought about how much I missed her. As we walked out of the courtroom, I saw many people. Some looked sad. Some looked angry. Everyone was talking softly about what just happened. They all wanted justice. But I wondered if justice was enough. That night, I sat alone in my room. I looked at Emily's favorite toy. It was her little doll, still sitting on her bed. I held it close and closed my eyes. I wanted to believe Emily was safe somewhere. I wanted her to come home. But deep inside, I knew the truth. Carl was in jail now. But something inside me still felt angry. I felt like something was missing. Like a part of me was still waiting for more. Waiting for Emily to come back. This day was over, but my feelings were not. I was tired, sad, and angry all at once. I loved Emily very much, and I would never stop hoping that someday she would be safe again. As I sat there, I looked out the window. The stars were shining bright. I whispered, "Please, Emily, come home. I will wait for you." Even though I knew it might take a long time, I kept that hope inside my heart. This was the end of today's story, but my journey was not over. I knew I had to be strong and brave, because loving someone means you never give up. No matter how dark it gets, hope can still shine very bright. I woke up in the morning and felt tired. It was quiet in the house. The courtroom incident was still in my mind. I kept thinking about what happened. I sat on the edge of my bed and looked out the window. The sky was gray and cold. I was not sure how I felt. Part of me was sad, part of me was angry, and part of me was very confused. Tom came into the room. He looked worried. "Sarah," he said softly, "are you okay?" I shook my head. "I don't know," I said. "I feel tired, I feel angry, I feel broken." He sat next to me and put his hand on my shoulder. "We both miss Emily so much," he said. "We want her back, but we also need to be careful." I looked at him. His face was sad but kind. "I keep thinking about the court," I whispered. "Carl is in jail. They say he is guilty, but I don't believe it is enough. I want him to pay more." Tom looked at me with wide eyes. "Sarah, you know that's not the way," he said. "We tried the law, we had the court, but it's not perfect. It can't fix everything." I felt my fists clench. "I know," I said, "but I can't forget what he did. I can't forget Emily's torn skirt and that day in the bushes. I want him to suffer, to really feel what he has done." Tom shook his head slowly. "That's dangerous." He warned, "Revenge can make us just like him." We must stay strong. For Emily, we must stay strong. I looked down at my hands. I was very tired. I wanted to do something. Anything. I felt that if I didn't do something, I would go crazy. Later that day, I went outside to walk around the yard. I needed to think. I looked into the bushes near the fence. The same bushes where I found Emily's torn skirt. My heart started beating faster. I remembered how I felt that day. Fear, anger, helplessness. Suddenly, I saw something shiny in the glass. I walked closer. It was a small, dirty object. I picked it up carefully. It was a piece of cloth. It looked like part of Emily's skirt. My hands shook. I looked around. There was no one else nearby. I felt a rush of hope and fear at the same time. Could it be Emily's? Was she out here somewhere? I ran back inside. I showed the cloth to Tom. "Look at this," I said. "I think Emily was here. She might still be close." Tom looked at it carefully. "It could be," he said, "but we need to tell the police. We should be very careful." I nodded. I knew he was right. I called the police and told them what I found. Soon, officers came to the house. They took the cloth and asked questions. They said they would check if it belonged to Emily. I felt a little better. Maybe Emily was still alive. Maybe she was hiding nearby. My heart hoped for that. But I also felt scared. What if I was wrong? What if she was gone forever? That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about Emily and that torn skirt. I wondered if she was scared or hurt. I wondered if she was trying to come home. The next morning, I woke up early. I decided to go back to the bushes. I wanted to look for more clues. Maybe I could find her. Maybe I could help bring her back. I tiptoed outside and moved carefully through the trees. The bushes were thick, but I looked everywhere. I was searching for anything that might tell me where Emily was. Suddenly, I saw something strange. A small piece of fabric caught my eye. I pulled it out from behind a branch. It was another part of Emily's skirt, but this time it was torn even more. It looked like she had been trying to pull it off. My stomach sank. I felt a deep pain inside. I wanted to find her. I wanted to save her. Just then, I heard a noise behind me. I turned around quickly. It was a neighbor, Mr. James. He looked curious. "What are you doing out here, Sarah?" he asked. I hesitated. I didn't know what to say. I looked at the torn fabric, and then at him. "I found some pieces of Emily's skirt," I said softly. "I think she's close. I want to find her." Mr. James looked at me carefully. Then he nodded slowly. "That's good," he said. "But you need to be careful. We don't want to scare her. She's been through so much." I nodded back. "I just want to find her and bring her home," I whispered. That day, I kept searching. Each piece of torn fabric made me more worried but also more determined. I knew I had to do everything I could. Emily was out there somewhere, and I promised myself I would find her, no matter what. As I looked into the bushes and listened to the quiet sounds of the neighborhood, I knew one thing for sure. I loved Emily more than anything, and I would never stop trying to bring her back. I wake up early on a cool morning. The house is quiet. I sit at the kitchen table and sip my coffee slowly. My mind is full of thoughts. I keep thinking about Emily. I want to find her. I want to bring her home. It has been many days since she disappeared. The court case is over. Carl is in jail. The judge said he was guilty. But still, Emily is not with us. I feel tired inside. My heart hurts. I miss her so much. Tom comes into the kitchen. He looks at me with tired eyes. "Sarah," he says softly, "we did everything we could. The police are looking for Emily every day. We have to stay strong." "I know," I say, but inside I feel worried. What if Emily is hurt? What if she is scared? I want to find her now. I cannot wait. I stand up and walk outside. The sun shines softly. The neighborhood is still. I look around the yard and the street. I check the bushes near the fence. Sometimes I think about the torn skirt I found in the bushes. It was Emily's. I keep it with me always, just in case. I kneel down and look in the bushes again. Maybe Emily left a sign. Maybe she is nearby. I call softly, "Emily, are you out there?" No answer. Just the quiet sounds of birds and wind. Suddenly, I see something shiny in the grass. I walk closer and see a small piece of fabric. It looks like a tiny corner of Emily's skirt. My heart beats faster. Could she be close? Did she leave a clue? I carefully pick up the fabric and hold it tight. I want to believe this means she is near. Maybe she is hiding somewhere close, scared but alive. I walk back inside and show Tom. "Look, Tom," I say. "I found this in the bushes. It's part of Emily's skirt. I think she was nearby." Tom looks at it carefully. "That's her fabric," he says softly. "It means she was here. Maybe she is still close." I feel a small spark of hope. Maybe Emily is hiding somewhere nearby. Maybe she is waiting to be found. Later that morning, I decide to go out again. I want to search the neighborhood more carefully. I check behind the trees, in the bushes, and near the fences. I call her name loudly. "Emily, please come out. We want to find you." The neighborhood is quiet. No sign of Emily. But I keep looking. I want to believe she is still safe somewhere, scared but alive. While I search, I think about Carl. He is in jail now. The courts say he is guilty. But I do not feel safe yet. I know he is a dangerous man. I want Emily to be safe from him. I sit on the porch and look at the sky. I think about all the things I want to do. I want to find Emily. I want to bring her home. I want her to be safe and happy again. Suddenly, I hear a voice behind me. It is Tom. He walks over and sits next to me. "Sarah," he says softly, "we will find her. We have to believe that. She is smart and brave. She is probably hiding, just like you said." I nod. "Yes, I believe that. I just wish I knew where she was. I wish I could find her now." Tom puts his hand on my shoulder. "We will keep searching. We will never give up." I look at him and smile a little. We are tired, but we still hope. We have each other, and we have love. That is all we need to keep going. In the days that follow, we keep looking everywhere. We ask neighbors if they have seen Emily. We watch the bushes, the fences, and the trees. We call her name again and again. Sometimes I feel sad and hopeless. But I remember the torn skirt. I remember her little face. I tell myself, she is out there. She is scared, but she is alive. Night comes, and I sit by the window. The moon shines softly. I think about Emily in a safe place, hiding and waiting. I hope she is thinking of us too. I know that finding her will not be easy, but I will never stop trying. I love her too much, and so I keep searching every day. I hope that soon I will see Emily's smile again. I hope she will run into my arms and be safe at last. Sometimes I close my eyes and pray. I pray she is okay. I pray that soon we will be a happy family again. Because no matter what happens, I will never stop loving her. I will never stop hoping, and I will keep looking until I find my little girl. I walk slowly through the neighborhood. The sun is high in the sky. It feels quiet, but my mind is loud with worries. It has been days since Emily disappeared. Every moment, I think about her. I look into the bushes and the trees. I hope to see her safe, hiding somewhere nearby. I stop near the bushes where I found Emily's torn skirt. It was a small piece of fabric, ripped and dirty. It looks like Emily was here. I kneel down and look closer. The bushes are thick and dark. I push the branches aside and listen. Maybe Emily is hiding behind them, scared but alive. My hands tremble a little. I feel tired and sad. I want my daughter back. I want her safe in my arms. I press my fingers against my lips and whisper, "Emily, where are you? Please come back." Suddenly, I hear footsteps. I turn around and see Tom walking toward me. His face looks worried. He always worries about Emily. He puts his hand on my shoulder and says softly, "Sarah, have you found anything?" I shake my head. No. But I feel like she's close. Maybe she's hiding, afraid. We have to find her. Tom nods, his eyes sad but determined. We will. We can't give up. We have to keep looking. I wipe my eyes quickly. I don't want Tom to see me cry now. I take a deep breath and stand up. I look around the neighborhood again. I see kids playing, neighbors watering their gardens, but I only see memories of Emily. Her laughter, her toys, her little face. As we walk together, I think about Carl, the man who used to live next door. The police caught him and put him in jail. They say he is guilty. Still, I don't believe he took Emily far away. I feel in my heart she's still nearby, hiding somewhere. I must find her before it's too late. We keep searching. I call out her name. Emily. Emily, please come out. My voice echoes through the quiet streets. I hope she hears me. I hope she is listening. Suddenly, I remember something. A small piece of fabric I saw earlier in the bushes. I bend down and pick it up carefully. It's a tiny strip of Emily's skirt. My heart beats faster. This is more proof she was close by. I look at Tom. This is Emily's. She was here. Maybe she's still here, hiding, I say. My voice is shaky but strong with hope. Tom takes the fabric and looks at it carefully. We need to tell the police. They can help us find her faster, he says. I nod. Yes, but I want to look more first. I need to find her myself. I can't wait. My hands are clenched into fists. I feel a mix of fear and love. I will not stop until Emily is safe. We search again, moving slowly and carefully. Every bush, every corner. I listen for a tiny sound, a whisper, a breath. I imagine Emily calling for me. I want to find her before something bad happens. Suddenly, Tom spots something behind a big tree. He rushes over and kneels down. Sarah, look, he calls out. I run to him. There on the ground is a small, trembling figure. It's Emily. She is hiding behind the tree, cold and scared. Her little face is covered in dirt. Her eyes look up at us, full of fear and love. I kneel down and open my arms. Emily, my baby, I cry softly. She runs into my arms, clutching me tight. I hold her close, feeling her tiny body shake. Tom comes closer and gently strokes her hair. You're safe now, he says softly. We found you. Emily looks at us and whispers. I was scared. I didn't want to go far. I hid behind the tree. I wipe away her tears and kiss her forehead. You're very brave, sweetheart. We're so happy to find you. We love you very much. In that moment, I feel a tiny spark of hope. Maybe, just maybe, she is safe now. Maybe she will never be taken away again. But deep inside, I know the nightmare is not over. The man who hurt her, Carl, has been caught, yes, but the pain in my heart is still there. The fear, the anger, the tears, they stay with me. As I hold Emily close, I think about what's next. We will go home, we will stay safe, and I promise myself I will do everything I can to protect her. No matter what, I will never stop loving her, never. In the quiet that follows, I look up at the sky. The clouds drift slowly. The sunlight feels warmer now. For the first time in days, I breathe out slowly and let some hope inside, because Emily is safe, and I will never stop fighting for her, no matter what comes next. I sat quietly in the small room of the police station. My hands trembled, and my heart beat fast. Emily was safe now. She was back home. After all the fear and tears, she was alive. But I still felt tired and sad. The terrible things that happened stayed in my mind. When the police brought Emily to me, she was scared. Her eyes looked big and worried. She clung to me tightly. I hugged her so hard I thought I might never let go. She whispered, "Mommy, I was hiding. I was scared." I kissed her hair and nodded. I told her she was safe now. Tom sat nearby. He looked tired too. He put his arm around me. We both felt relief, but also a deep sadness. We had been through so much. Our little girl was back, but the pain stayed. I looked at Emily and thought about everything. I remembered the torn skirt we found in the bushes. It was a sign she had been close. Maybe she had tried to run away or hide. Maybe she was still scared. I wondered if she knew how much we loved her. Later, I sat with Emily in her room. I wanted to help her feel safe again. I softly said, "Emily, do you want to tell me what happened? You can tell me anything." She looked at me and nodded slowly. She whispered, "I hid behind the tree because I was scared of Carl. I didn't want him to find me." My stomach clenched. I remembered how Carl had hurt her, how he was a bad man. I kissed her again and said, "It's okay, honey. You're safe now. We will protect you." Tom brought her her favorite toy. Emily held it tightly. Her small face looked tired but peaceful. For a moment, she was just a little girl, not a girl who had been lost and hurt. That night, I sat by her bed. I watched her sleep. I thought about all that had happened. I felt both relief and fear. I knew the road ahead would not be easy, but I also knew that Emily was back, and that made me want to be strong. Suddenly, I remembered something. The police told us Carl was going to jail. He could no longer hurt anyone. I felt a small hope inside me. Maybe, just maybe, we could start to heal. But deep inside, I wondered, was it really over? Would Emily be okay? Or was there still more to come? I didn't know. I only knew one thing for sure. I loved Emily more than anything in the world. I would do whatever it took to keep her safe, no matter what, because she was my little girl, and she was everything to me. As I sat quietly in the dark, I looked at Emily's tiny face. I promised myself I would never let anything hurt her again. I would stay strong for her, for Tom, and for our family. In that quiet moment, I felt a small spark of hope. Maybe we could find peace again. Maybe someday the fear would fade. Maybe someday we could really be happy again. But for now, I just held Emily close, and I whispered, "You're safe now, darling. We're together, and that's what matters most." It is quiet now. The house feels still, but my heart is not. Emily is safe at last. We found her hiding behind a big tree in the bushes. She was cold and scared, but she is alive. I hold her close, feeling her small arms wrap around me. My tears come fast and heavy. I am so happy she is back. Tom is next to us. His face is tired but kind. He kisses Emily's head softly. "We are all okay now," he says gently. But I know deep down, things are not really okay. We still feel hurt, and our minds are full of fear. We walk together into the house. Emily's eyes are wide. She looks around at the familiar things, her favorite toy, the pictures on the wall, the cozy couch. But I see her eyes. She is still scared. Her little face shows she is not ready to forget what happened. I sit on the sofa. Emily curls up next to me. I hold her tight. I look at Tom and then at Emily. My mind is full of questions. Why did this happen? Why did Carl do this? And will it ever be safe again? I can't stop thinking about what I did before. I played in my yard, feeling safe. Then everything changed. Carl moved in next door. His shadow was over us. I felt worried, but I hoped I was just imagining things. I wanted to believe that our neighborhood was still a good place. But I knew better. One day, I saw Carl watching Emily. Not just looking, but staring. I felt a cold shiver in my stomach. I told myself, "It's nothing. He's just curious." But inside, I knew I was wrong. Then Emily disappeared. I called her name over and over. I ran outside, searching everywhere. I looked in the bushes, behind the trees. I saw something strange, a torn piece of her skirt lying on the ground. It was ragged and dirty. My heart sank. I knew she was in danger. The police came quickly. They found Carl's fingerprints. They found other clues. We were scared and angry. We wanted him to pay for what he did. The court agreed. Carl was caught and sent to jail. We thought that meant everything was finished. Justice was done. But I knew something wasn't right. The torn skirt was just a small piece of the story. Emily was still gone inside. Her fear, her tears, they had not disappeared. I wanted her to forget the bad things and just be a little girl again. But I knew it would take time. In the courtroom, Carl sat quiet. The judge told him he would stay in jail for many years. I felt a small hope. Maybe now, Emily would be safe. Maybe she could forget the nightmare. But after the trial, I felt a strange urge. I visited Carl in jail. I looked at him through the glass. I wanted to see if he felt sorry. But he just looked at me with cold eyes. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about Emily, about what she went through, about Carl, about the law. I wondered if the law could really punish him enough, if it could make things right. I felt a deep sadness inside, and a strange burning feeling, anger maybe, or pain. I wanted to do something. I wanted to make Carl pay, not just with words or courts, but in a way that would end the badness for good. So I decided, I would not wait anymore. I would take care of my family. I would protect Emily no matter what. I would find a way to make the evil go away. The night I made my choice, I was nervous. I went out secretly. I bought a small gun. My hands trembled as I held it. I thought about Emily, about Tom, about all the good things we lost. I knew I was crossing a line, but I felt I had no choice. The next day was the court hearing again. The judge talked about justice, about fairness. I sat in the back of the room. My heart was pounding. When Carl was sentenced, I stood up quietly. I looked at him. I saw the evil in his eyes. I felt my anger grow. I took out the gun from my purse. I aimed it at him. My finger pressed the trigger. Suddenly, everything changed. The shot rang out loud in the courtroom. Everyone gasped and ducked. The room was full of chaos. The judge and lawyers shouted. Police officers rushed toward me. I dropped the gun. I felt a mix of fear, relief, and regret all at once. I knew I had done something terrible. I had broken the law. I had become what I hated. Now I sit in a small cell. The court will decide what happens next. Some people call me a hero. Others say I am a criminal. I do not care what they say. All I know is this. I wanted justice for my daughter. I wanted her to be safe. But I realize now, revenge is a heavy weight. It does not bring peace. It only leaves scars. I see that my act has changed everything. The world is no longer the same. Tom and Emily visit me sometimes. Emily is quiet. She looks at me with sad eyes. Tom's face is tired. I see the pain in his eyes too. We all made mistakes. We all lost something very precious. I think about the future. Will Emily ever forget? Will we ever be happy again? I do not know. But I do know this. Sometimes justice is not enough. Sometimes the pain is too much to bear. As I sit here, I think about the girl I was before. The girl who loved her family and believed in the good in people. I wonder if that girl is gone forever, or if someday she can come back. For now, I only hope that Emily will heal, that Tom will find peace, and that somehow we will learn to live with what has happened. Because in the end, justice was not just in the courtroom. It was in the love we share and the hope we hold inside, and that's what keeps me going.